we are. We're on there. Yeah, we're on. Oh, turn that sound down so it doesn't echo. There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joni with the Paperback Exchange Bookstore at 6412 Ridge Road. And we have the honor today of interviewing local author and screenwriter and formal battle rapper and father, Torrey Holloway.
How you doing?
Great. How are you doing? I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Can you turn your mic up a little bit?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. How you doing?
Hey, Tori. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So we've got Tori's book live up on our .com, which is paperbackexchangebookstore.com. You can check out his book that we have here today, My Circle, Apocalypse in the Hood. A meteor hits the southern Pacific Ocean, causing deadly radiation worldwide. Most lives are immune to the radiation, while others die less than minutes. Real and raw. Tori and his son on a breathtaking and exciting adventure through the Florida streets, trying to make it to Georgia to check on his mother. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about you, Tori. You are a member of the, you live in St. Petersburg.
Correct, yeah.
You're a member of the Berg or St. Pete. How do you say it?
We call it the Berg.
Yeah,
St. Pete,
yeah.
So
how long have you been writing?
Well, actually, I started writing back in the early 2000s off a book that I read, and the book was so good that I never wanted to end, so I decided to write a sequel to it, and it was telling me that was a bad idea. And so what I did, they was telling me I had to get rid of the book, like either change the characters, and I'm like, well, I'd rather get rid of it than change it because it's a sequel to a book that I read. So I put that to the side and I started writing my own stories and stuff. And my first book that I ever written was Fast Cash. That was my first book back in like 2001.
And what is Fast Cash about? I'm gonna go to one of your sites here. It's available on Barnes and Noble as well as Amazon. But tell us about your first book. Tell us about Fast Cash.
Well, Fast Cash, born and raised like in the South Side St. Pete, it was kind of hard. I was raised by my grandmother, and she was already up in age, and we basically had to like try to survive on our own. So, I tried to find my way, trying to make it out of the streets, basically. I stayed in school or whatever, but still it was hard times. So I always try to figure out like what's the best way to make money. You know what I mean? And of course, it's the fast way, as everybody was doing at that time. And I decided to write a story about it.
And I see that you have not only this version of Fast Cash, but I see on the Goodreads site, you've also got another version of it. Tell us the difference between the two versions that you.
Well, it's basically the same book. It's just different book covers, because I was under one agency that went out of business, and I had to change covers. But it's basically the same book, yeah.
So there's no difference in what's in the content at all. Just a different cover. I got you. There was another part of the title on there, so I wasn't sure whether it was exactly the same or not.
Yeah, I had changed it up a little bit.
So how was that experience? What was your biggest obstacle to finishing that book?
Well, actually, that book took me well over 8 years to finish. I didn't know it was going to really take that long, but I used to have a journal that I used to walk around with every day, just visualizing life and writing a little bit here and there, you know what I mean? And just people was telling me basically that I was looking kind of crazy walking around with a journal, and I was telling them I'm writing the story. So it kind of started making me feel like maybe this is probably a bad idea. So I put it down a lot of times, but I always go back to it and continue writing here and there until finally I finished it like 8 years later.
So it was a little bit of a cathartic, huh? Eight whole years.
Yeah.
How many edits did you lose count?
Oh, edits, yeah. Yeah. I edited myself like at least about 15 times.
Wow.
Before like really paying somebody to really go through it and make it right.
So it must have been a good story for you to be able to go through the edit 15 times without.
Oh, yeah, that's a good story. Yeah.
So what? So tell us about your other ones. You've got one called Pull It.
Yeah. Actually, after I finished Fast Cast, the other books came like back to back. You know, it didn't take me long at all. And
all those 8 years of learning, right?
Yeah, I just went straight through them after that. I got 5 in ready to go. But Pull It actually is a trilogy to my book, Enclosed Management. Enclosed Management was the second book that I wrote after Fast Cast. And it was about a guy that's in prison doing time. And, you know, throughout his time, he decided to write a book while in prison. And the book that he wrote was called Two Ways, which I wrote that book too. And then while he was in prison, he met this other inmate that they became very close. And this inmate, you know, was in prison for actually robbing, and they called it Pull It. And I wrote a story about that too.
So
I got a sequel in the trilogy, right?
So they didn't use the same term. It's not robbing or heisting. They called it
Pull It, right? Pull It, that.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So as far as this project, you've got all of these books written. What are you working on now?
Well, actually, I'm doing the film. I'm filming right now, and I just finished one of my films called The Bag, which is on YouTube right now. But we're working on our second film as we speak. You know, and it's called Jacket Man. And my main actor, matter of fact, I got him here with me right now. You know, and I got him starring in this movie called Jacket Man. And Jacket Man is the guy he was a legend. Like everybody in St. Pete knew this guy. And I decided to do it.
So you've got the actor that's playing the Jacket Man here right now?
Yeah, he go right. Yeah,
is he camera shy? Is he camera shy?
No, not actually. Yeah, there you go.
Hi there. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. Hey, how's filming going?
Man.
From battle rapper to author to screenwriter, and now he's producing and directing and filming a show. So what's this Jacket Man character? What did you have to do to prepare for this?
Well, man, you know, Jacket Man, he's a homeless guy suffering from mental illness. So, you know, I had to really jump into the character. You know, he's kind of bipolar. He talks to himself a lot. So, you know, it's just talking to myself a lot, you know.
Yeah, so you hung out in the downtown and
pretty much a nice
in some of the parks where the homeless people frequent.
Yeah, we're getting toward that way, but most of the stuff that we've been shooting has been on 9th Street South and 18th Avenue. That's the majority of the places that we used to see this guy. If you can ask anybody who has lived in St. Pete about Jacket Man, they'll be like, yeah, I remember that guy. He stayed on the corner all the time.
So he's an actual legend in St. Pete.
Yes.
Wonderful,
yes,
wonderful.
And
so
by
does
the way,
he know that you guys are filming about him?
Actually, he's passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he passed away, but I met a couple of his family members.
This is a tribute to him, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
And what's your name, sir? I'm sorry.
My name is Ronald Fluker.
Ronald Fluker. Well, nice to meet you, Ronald. I hope production goes well. When do you guys think you're going to be wrapping up?
Well, we're still shooting. I say maybe a couple months, maybe a couple months.
Pandemic slowing you down a little bit?
Yeah, no, not really.
I guess it'd be easier to film because there's not as many people around, right?
Yeah.
In some instances, it's a good thing, but
most of the scenes are really intimate, and we're, you know.
Best of luck to your production. We'll look forward to seeing it.
That's right. And by the way, it's Tori's birthday today, and I got something to give him. And this is a mug I want to give you for your and a T-shirt for the movie that we dropped called A Bag.
Oh man!
And I got the check. This is not cotton. This is the good stuff. This is the virtually polyester stuff. Actually, I got you two.
Happy birthday!
Just in case that would get kind of dirty. So y'all go check. Make sure y'all check that movie out. A Bag. And it's on YouTube playing right now.
That's cool.
Definitely.
Man.
Now, what's the name of your YouTube channel? Nice.
Well, you can just go on YouTube, and it's on your YouTube channel, right? It's on Torrey Holloway's YouTube channel. You can go check that out. It's called A Bag, B-A-G, A Bag, Torrey Holloway. You can see it and it pops right up. It should.
Nice. I was on screen share that whole time, guys. I didn't even realize it. Sorry. Let me see the cup and the shirt.
Do you want to see the cup in the shirt?
Okay. This the cup.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Nice. Oh yeah, I saw that pop up on my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
That picture. Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, I
Well, you can-
encourage you, please, Ronald, to go back into our Facebook feed live
Mhm.
and please share some of these links to your
Yes, ma'am.
show and your YouTube channels. People might not be on right now watching, but they come back and see it, and then we can pick up all of these links to share your stuff. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, here you go, T. No problem, man. You my brother, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Well, that was very nice. Happy birthday.
Thank you. That was surprising too. That caught me right off guard. Wow.
So the bag is already out, but you're working on the Jacket Man, right?
Correct. Uh-huh.
A couple months it'll pop up on YouTube. So
Yeah.
what is it like doing, like production and a whole other bag, right? So you spent 8 years writing your first one. You're not gonna spend 8 years learning how to do this movie stuff, right?
Oh no, and we done picked up the pace. Like I said, the 8 years was the longest I ever been working on something. I mean, like I said, and it was give or take off and on. But after I finished that book, actually, it was game time. I started talking to other producers, other actors, directors. I don't went a long ways trying to promote Fast Cash till I learned about production through the process and all. And I was like, I should just go ahead and start my own film.
Well, great.
And I started getting my foot in this stuff.
Now talk about the book that we have here, My Circle. We've got a My Circle, The Apocalypse in the Hood.
That book there is it's one of my personal favorites, even though I'm the author of all, but My Circle, I started writing that in the summer of 2019, and the story was so good, I just went straight through the pages, and I had got it published back in the early 2020, right before the coronavirus.
Right, I see a lot of parallels with what we went through with the corona, with what people are trying to do. They can't get anywhere. They can't get anything they need.
Yeah, they was calling me a prophet off that, but I didn't have no idea of the coronavirus at that time either. But I was always imagining, what if something happened like that? What would I do? And I've been I'm married now, but I've been a single parent of my son, which is the one on the shirt, the movie about my son. I had him since he was 2 years old until now he's 17. He'll be 17 next month, but a couple months. But anyways, I was just thinking, what would I do if something was to happen, if we was to have an apocalypse? The first thing I said I'll do, I have to take care of my son first, and then check on my family. And so I just wrote a story about it.
Well, the dystopian and apocalyptic style books have been very, very popular over the last 18 months.
Yes, very.
Because of all of the parallels, 1 Second After, your book, Fahrenheit 451, all everything like that, everything that that if you see it in a meme, right? If it's a reminder, if it's relevant now, that's why they made that connection, because it does feel a little bit dystopian. Now I think one of the first big dystopian books I ever read was, of course, Margaret Atwood, Handmaid's Tale, right?
Okay.
Soon after that, I think I wrote her a letter that said, please stop writing this stuff. It keeps coming true,
I know, right? Yeah.
So I don't know whether these are good because they help you prepare, or whether it's a little bit of dread as well.
Right, yeah.
So your book is available here and on our website. You can get it at Amazon. You've got it at Barnes and Noble. Have you reached out to any of the other stores in St. Pete in that area that are carrying it too?
I mean, no, I haven't. Okay. I haven't really been reached out. You was the first person to ever really got in touch with me, as being from a store, to be able to have my book inside, your store local like that. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've got a list I'll give you of great bookstores in St. Pete where you could go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's some really,
Appreciate it.
really good old ones. Not too many of them up in this area, but we're the stronghold up here. You know, we've been around since 79.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I just bought the place 4 years ago, so I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or change, you know, how the system works.
Right.
But it's nice because, you know, we do mostly used books here, but we love supporting our local authors, yourself, and probably another 150 or so authors that we have here in the shop.
Oh, that's cool.
So send people this way if they're up in this area. We're about an hour north of Tampa.
Okay.
St. Pete, where you're at. I'm clear up in Pasco.
Yeah, most definitely will come check you out.
Definitely. Well, great. Now, let's see. So we got some of the obstacles. What were the best opportunities that you saw as far as writing your book? Did you have any mentors here locally in the area other than reading books that you liked? Who were your coaches?
Well, actually, no, I really basically went independent years ago, but I have read a lot of books. I have a lot of books myself. I read a lot too, you know what I mean? But I don't really have like a person I could say that I learned from or whatever.
So you just started writing and just went for it.
I just went.
I always ask questions like this because we have a lot of people that are just right on that precipice of wanting to write their own book.
You know
what pushed you over that edge? What gave you that incentive?
Well, believe it or not, we all have a story to tell. You know what I mean? I'm talking about everybody alive have a story to tell, believe it or not, you know, the things that they've been through, you know what I mean, what they done seen, and you know, we all have a story to tell, you know what I mean? I just took it for me to just tell my story, because basically my story, it could be anybody's story, you know what I mean? But it's just stuff that I went through. So I just wrote my story.
Wonderful. Well, we like to do a little thing here that we call the speed round. Okay. And at the end of this interview, I'm going to go through a list of choices. I'll give you 2 words and you'll have to pick one. Okay. And it's just random, but it allows us to get to know our authors just a little bit better as far as what they prefer and what they don't prefer. Okay. So as far as your web page here, let me pull this up and share it. You can reach out to Tori via, let's share this page. This is his Torrey Holloway. You can reach him at 50feet.allauthor.com. And what's nice about the profile is he's got all this little bit of background here, interesting. And there's a little bit about a little video here about Tori himself. And then we've got his books down here. But what's really nice is at the bottom here, we can go to all of the places that we can get in touch with Tori. Here on his Facebook page. We can get everything not only in book form, but we like to promote Kindle and audio as well, even though we're a little partial to real books because we're a real bookstore. We know the importance of having all of those different media for everybody, so you can reach out to as many people as possible. But he's got a little bit of fun stuff on there. And did I just stop sharing that? There we go. All right, Tori. So is there anything else you'd like to add or let people know where else you can get they can get your books?
Well, the easiest way to really be able to find my work is just Google my name, Torrey Holloway, and it pops up as a writer right there.
Excellent.
And you
Excellent.
We'll show you different sites where you can get it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. We'll say our goodbyes after our little speed round here.
Okay.
But we just like to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
We're just keep it short and sweet, so people can get to know you and then take a look at some of your stuff. Like I said, please feel free to come back and visit the Facebook Live page and add some links back in. I'll be adding some links as well. I just can't do it while I'm talking and doing all of this at the same time. I've reached my limit of multitasking. But let's start out with the speed round. All right, first off, ready? Now you just have to choose one. You have to think about it too much.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Speed round for Torrey Holloway, September 13th. Happy birthday, Tori.
Thank you.
All right, survivor or survival?
Survivor.
St. Pete or the Berg?
The Berg.
Fiction or autobiographical?
Fiction.
fiction. I kind of think that maybe my circle might be a little autobiographical, someone, huh? Apocalyptic or dystopian?
Apocalypse.
Heist or robbery?
Oh, a heist.
And now I learned that it's not called that. It's also called a pull. All right. Now the last one is very important. Think about it. Think about where you're at on your Zoom. Hardback or paperback?
Hardback.
Oh, ouch. We are the paperback exchange, but we try not to be prejudiced against hardbacks. Well, thank you so much again. We are carrying Tori's book here at the shop at Paperback Exchange Bookstore, 6412 Ridge Road in lovely Port Richey, Florida. And I thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you go and celebrate your birthday now that you're done with your work.
Oh yeah, it's going to start now.
Excellent. Well, cheers to you, Tori.
Same to you.
And many happy returns.
Same to you. I'll check you out soon.
Pardon me?
I said I'm gonna come up there and check your store out soon.
Yeah, come on up anytime.
will.
We're here.
I will.
We're here. We like I said, we're like the last vestige of bookstores up in this area. So
Right.
we got our toe deep in the soil up here.
Okay, good. I come check you out.
Thank you so much. You have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
And you too.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.